Hey, this is Smiles with a new and my last review for Video Game Hour Live. Everyone's favorite plumber is back in his latest game for the Wii U,
Super Mario 3D World! Meow!
So, Bowser invades the Spritzy Kingdom, and Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad must stop him by platforming their way through multiple worlds. Nintendo figured no one really cares about the story. The opening cutscene is shorter than this sentence. Super Mario 3D World lets up to 4 players jump around in 3D levels. Players can choose from Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad. Like in Super Mario Bros. 2, each have their own unique abilities. Luigi can jump higher, Peach can float, Toad runs faster, and Mario's just Mario. Similar to 3D Land, World combines the linear flow of traditional Mario titles with the 3D design of modern games. Throwing 4 people into the mix, things get hectic fast. Depending on your playstyle, you might find yourself at odds with your friends. Explorative types will find themselves left behind when playing with speedrunners. Some levels are better tackled alone, but for the most part, it's manageable with 4 people on screen. Every Mario game has its fair share of power-ups, and Super Mario 3D World takes the crown for the most power-ups with 17. While most are returning power-ups from past games, 3D World introduces the Super Bell and Double Cherry. The Super Bell turns Mario and friends into cats. Yeah, Miyamoto spends way too much time on the internet. The cat suit proves quite helpful in scaling walls to skip over huge sections of the stage and find secrets. The pounce attack is also useful in knocking out enemies, especially with its homing capabilities. While at first I didn't seem to mind it, the cat suit got creepier over time. It's somewhat unsettling to hear Luigi meow after he touches the goalpost. The Double Cherry makes a duplicate of your character. If you thought playing with friends was hectic already, throw some Double Cherries into the mix. While not as common as the Super Bell, the Double Cherry adds some interesting gameplay changes in certain stages. Furthermore, the Double Cherry doesn't take away your previous power-up, so you can control multiple Fire Peaches at once. 3D World puts more emphasis on competition rather than cooperation. At the end of each stage, players are ranked based on how many points they receive, with first place receiving a crown. Whoever carries the crown to the end of the next stage wins an extra 5,000 points. This shift from exploration to race to the finish is evident even in the unlockables. In each level, there are hidden green stars and stamps to collect. Rather than being hidden per se, they require you to make tricky jumps or have the right power-up. I'll admit it took me some time to get used to a more fast-paced Mario game, but once I did, I found it quite fun. Level designs borrow many aspects from previous Mario games like the flip-swap platforms from Galaxy 2. New design aspects are introduced to fully utilize the gamepad's touchscreen and microphone. For instance, some blocks and platforms are invisible until the gamepad player reveals them by touching them on the touchscreen. There are also some platforms that will rise when you blow on the microphone. The mechanics behind individual levels like Shadow Play Alley and Backstreet Bustle show that Nintendo still has what it takes to creatively challenge players in a Mario game. Of course, this game is bright and colorful like any other Mario game. But what sold me on the presentation of Super Mario 3D World is its nods and references to virtually every past Mario game. Enemies that haven't appeared since Super Mario World make a comeback. Koji Kondo's jazz-filled tunes play homage to past titles like Super Mario Bros. 2 and 64. Even the side Mario games get so love. There's a level based on Super Mario Kart. And to top it all off, there's even an unlockable character from Super Mario Galaxy. Super Mario 3D World is Nintendo's answer to Sonic Generations. The main game of Super Mario 3D World doesn't take too much time to complete. For me, it took about 5 hours to get to the final boss. While the original playthrough is short, there are tons of secret worlds and levels that will keep you playing for a long time. With so many green stars and stamps, completionists can expect to sink a ton of hours into this game. While I wouldn't say there's much for those who just beat the main story, multiplayer at least lends itself to increased replay value depending on who you play with. Here's my final verdict on Super Mario 3D World. Story in this game doesn't matter, but for kicks, I give it a 2. Design gets a 9. The level designs are spot on and prove quite the challenge without being ridiculously frustrating. Gameplay gets a 9.5. This is Mario platforming at its finest. While the shift to a more fast-paced 3D Mario game took me by surprise, it manages to work well with multiplayer. Presentation gets a 9.5. The bright, cheery atmosphere of Super Mario can lift anyone's spirit. It's impossible not to smile when playing this game. Replay value gets a 9. The initial game is short, but replay value is enhanced by the many secrets and unlockables in this game. Overall, Super Mario 3D World gets a 9.4. Nintendo continues its tradition of making stellar Mario games. like 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy, Super Mario 3D World will be enjoyed by gamers for years to come.